Hello and welcome back to AOR. This is round number 2 for Season 13 at the Bahrain Grand Prix for the PS4 F1 League. We are back here today and joining me in the commentary box is Tom.
Yep, hello everybody and welcome back once again, like Aarava said, to round 2 of the season at Bahrain. And last time out in Australia, an absolute cracker. Really good race. I really thoroughly enjoyed commentating that one. And obviously last time out, Jim Nervo taking the race win in dominant fashion, controlling the race from start to finish. And he'll be hoping to do the exact same thing, Aarava, this time out in Bahrain.
Yeah, for sure. Well, he's got pedigree here at the Bahrain Grand Prix. He was Season 12's winner and pole position man, so we'll see if he can do that again. So, without further ado, let's go to the qualifying report.
Here we are for the qualifying comparison for AOR PS4 round 2 at Bahrain, and this week we have got the POVs from Ali K in the Mercedes on the left hand side and Arbus 0-0 in the Renault on the right. Coming down the long main straight with DRS wide open into the first corner, very heavy braking at around the 100 meter board, down into first gear for the best rotation before shifting up quickly again and controlling the traction through the kink of turn 2. Arbus short shifting a bit more than Ali there to help with stability, and now on the short run into turn 4 you have to spot the braking again just after the 100 meter board, briefly down to second gear to get a car turned in, slight lock up there for Ali on the inside front, and now controlling the oversteer nicely into the high speed chicane of 5 and 6, and you can just see how close it is between these two drivers. Quite tricky to get a good line through here, gotta be really precise on the steering. Ali with a big kick of oversteer on the curb, controlling it very well as they now get the car turned around for the turn 8 hairpin. Back up the hill now, short shifting a bit as well as they now prepare for arguably the most tricky corner on the whole circuit. The braking through turn 9 across the track without locking up and tries to carry as much speed as possible around the slow turn 10 to get a good run onto the straight with a DRS, a second DRS zone on the circuit, but not quite as long as the main straight. And now braking into turn 11, medium speed corner, tricky to get the throttle on through here though as you turn to the left while accelerating, and on the freeze frame now you can see that Ali has gained a very slight advantage through the middle sector. Only the final sector to go now, which has 2 corners, turning into the penultimate corner from far wide, briefly down into third gear again, trying to not take too much off the outside curb, and then they only have 1 corner to go in the lap. It can all be thrown away if they don't nail this one. Braking just after the 100 meter board again, third gear hitting the apex, avoiding the curb on the exit, controlling any potential oversteer, and then the run towards the line. And there we go, very small gap between Ali K, who takes pole position here, in front of Arbus by less than 1/10 of a second.
Thank you, Fisi, for the qualifying comparison. Looking here for the grid for the Bahrain Grand Prix, and kicking it off with Ali, who's the man on pole position in the Mercedes, who a man that being Aarava thought was very unlucky last time out in Australia and really seemed like a bit of a dark horse in terms of his pace, and this time really getting the grips of the car and getting a solid pole position for himself here in round 2 of the season with RBOS, the man also on the podium in Australia in second place in the first of the Renaults, with Clarkey, a person who really impressed last time out in Australia, also getting third place there with a Resi, the man who finished in second place last time in Australia, getting P4 there, with the top 4 covered by just over 1.5 of a second, so incredibly close between those guys, with Jamie in 5th place in the first of the McLarens. Good job from him there, with Alex in 6th in the second Renault, with RC Wallen in the Williams getting a pretty impressive qualifying there, up in P7 for the first of the Williams cars, with Jay Thorne in the second Red Bull in P8. Also, incredibly close to RC Wallen, just shy of getting P7 there, with Jim Nervo the man who won last time out, and a disappointing 9th place, and the man who got pole last season, so obviously he won't be too happy with that lap time. 4/10 off pole position there, his teammate Ali K, with I Am Loki in the first of the Haas cars, rounding out the top 10. And moving into the lower half of the table, Big C there in P11 in the Ferrari, just over half second off pole position there, with Ferrari fan in P12, rounding off the 6th row in the first of the Force Indias, with Shelley in the Manor in P13, with Walsh in the second Haas in P14, with H Racing Green, the man who really impressed last time out also in Australia, down in P15, with Wooly, the man who also impressed, starting from last place in Australia, this time qualifying in P16, with Nardi X Team in the second Williams, the one man to try and qualify on a harder compound, down in P17, with Desin Pele in the second, forcing it down in P18, with Big Shot Player unfortunately getting a penalty in qualifying, and Ice Super Scrub getting disqualified, and that is going to be a top 20 that's going to take us swiftly on to the race for the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Right, so here we are for the Bahrain Grand Prix, round 2 of this season. We had a fantastic round last time out to open off this season, and I'm looking forward to this one, Tom. It should be another cracker.
Yep, I think, Bahrain, especially since it's moved to a transitional night race, has become an absolute cracker in the V6 era, and I think this promises to be no different to any of the past races, and I think got a very promising grid there with a few mixed results in qualifying, like I said before. The likes of obviously Nervotank going to be trying to fight through the field, and I think that'll make a quite interesting race. And also up front, will Ali K finally, try and get rid of his hoodoo Australian, try and get a good race underneath him, and also RBOS looking to impress in the Renault. So there's a few different guys. Obviously Clark as well looked very aggressive in that first race, really try and get onto the maybe top step of the podium today, and also people like H Racing Green and also Jamie as well, both from McLaren, who impressed in the race last time out. Will they try and get another shocking result from McLaren Honda? So we'll have to wait and see, but it's looking very promising here, this race, Aarava.
Yeah, a lot of storylines here in this race. We've also got people like Jay Thorne, who obviously crashed out in the last round, wanting to prove something. Obviously, his teammate Aresi did really well, getting second place. So, got a lot of different people looking to prove themselves. You've got Wallen there in the Williams in 7th place. You can see now riding on board with Jay Thorne, who had a great qualifying compared to what he managed last time out. So a lot of people have improved from this race, from last one, and they'll be looking to make that step up, hopefully, and kick off their season. And some others, they'll be looking to recover from what was a poor qualifying, as you mentioned, Tom. Nervotank, quite strange to see him down there compared to his teammate Ali. So that'll be quite an interesting kind of story to see if he kind of makes up positions early on, or does he play it cautious. You never know what can happen in an online race, so we'll just have to kind of see.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think also, the strategy factor is going to be a big one for this race. A track where in the past, the 2016 season, especially the tyre regulation, because of the heat, has been a big issue. Obviously, with the night race, it's gone down a few degrees, and it's not as bad as in the past, but it's still a very real factor. And I think, I think the two stops probably looking at the best strategy, but you can play around with quite the options of the tyres. I think there's quite a few different options for you. You could perfectly run all three compounds in the same order and get to the end of the race quite comfortably. Maybe try and be a bit more ballsy and aggressive and try and run a super soft, and that would imply you have to do a bit of tyre saving at some point. But like I said, there's different options, but I think this is one of the races where all three compounds are going to beautifully come into play, Aarava, and I think it's going to really mix up the racing along with the already mixed up grid that we have here today.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite on the fly, potentially. Drivers kind of just seeing where they are in the race at a certain point, maybe as they get towards the end of the tyres, to really decide what their strategy is going to be. But we're coming towards the formation of the grid, and as you said, under the kind of dusk setting here at Bahrain, looks lovely, and we're getting ready to start round number 2. Round number 1 was so good, and I think this one should be equally as well. So here's the final few. Nardi X team there on Super Sauce. We've got Desmond Pele and Big Shot Play, obviously with the penalty in qualifying on the medium tyres, so 2 compound difference there between those drivers, so plenty of different things going to start at the very first stint for this race. But here we go, we line up to 5 red lights for the Bahrain Grand Prix, round 2 of season 13 of AOR. 5 red lights are out and we are underway. Slight delay there, but Ali K gets off to a good start, it looks like, towards turn 1. RBOS will try and slipstream. Also the Red Bull in the background may try something into turn 1, and there's a little bit of a hustle between the 3 cars behind Ali K, and it looks like Clarkie's had a great start. Clarkie up into 2nd place there. There's been contact for Nervotank there. There's Wallen off on the left-hand side. There's been a major issue for a Renault car there. Jay Thorne has also had another tangle, so that's not what he wanted, but Nervotank trying to avoid the action there, Tom. Clarkie off to a flyer.
Absolutely, and Ali K getting the best start of the lot there in the Mercedes, really getting a nice clean start in 1st place. RBOS, getting a bit out of shape in the start, down to P5, so a pretty poor one from him, obviously on the dirt side of the grid, and very conservative into turn 1 there, but overall a pretty decent start from a few of those guys, and obviously the incident at turn 1, which we might get a few replays of in a moment's time, but everyone filtering through into the 2nd sector for the first time this race, and the people like I Am Loki, for example, in the halves there, getting a great start up into P6, for example, who was P10 on the grid at the start, so a good start from him there, but I think RBOS down to 20th place, so I thought it was RBOS in 5th place, but it's actually not him. It's RBOS who's actually gone for the spin himself, so a little bit of content we have to get a replay from, because he obviously started in 2nd place, so it's actually Alex and the other Renaults in P5, so my apologies there, but we have to watch a replay, like I said, of what happened at the start. But so far so good, and everyone filtering into a bit of a natural rhythm, trying to get to grip with the higher fuel loads and also the track conditions on these slightly worn tyres, which are qualifying used tyres for the top 10. But right now, here we are with the reigning champion Nervotank on board, right behind I am Loki opting to start on the super soft tyre, and he's right on his gearbox here. Going on to the start of lap 2, he's going to try and go for a move here down the pit straight, almost very close to contact there, keeping the front wing just about in one piece and getting past quite comfortably into the first corner there for P6, and making light work of I am Loki. There is the reigning world champion. A little bit of contact here, the manner of Wooly, and I believe that's the Williams of Nardi X team, and now the McLaren of I Racing Green, or H Racing Green, getting in on the action here. Great action already on lap 2. These three guys scrapping out for position here in the tail end of the Noir for the top 20, but so far good action, nice and clean so far around the outside. A little bit of a tank stopper there, just about missing the McLaren, and so far so good, Aaron. No contact other than turn 1 incident there.
Yep, so everyone's filtering through, just trying to keep it clean. But yeah, already Novatank making moves, getting up the grid up into 6th place there. His teammate controlling the race, and now behind we can see the Red Bull car getting right up to Loki there. So that's Jay Thorne, who obviously I think was the one who made some contact with RBOS, so hopefully we will see a replay later on. But I said Jay Thorne has something to prove this race off that crash out, and he hasn't started in the best way possible in that opening lap. But he's looking to chase up Loki. We can see up ahead also, looks like Novatank's already on the back of Alex, I think, and equally so Clark, you can see in the top right, set in the purple second sector. Obviously it's only the second lap, so I'm pretty sure everyone will be going purple at this stage, but Clarky looks within about the half second. Obviously DRS won't be activated quite yet, but through the last corner he may be able to get a good enough run. We know how good the slipstream is on this game. Goes up into Rich mix here, so Ali K, where will he go? Will he play defensive? He's kind of wiggling around. Clarky says the fast lap of the Grand Prix, so he's gone better than Alex. Then Novatank says fast lap of the Grand Prix, but here goes Clarky into turn 1. DRS will be enabled for this lap, and behind them it's Alex and Novatank that go side by side. I mentioned this before. Novatank goes down the inside, has got it, and he's up into 5th place. So Novatank really making a good progression in this opening stint, Tom. And then up ahead we've got Ali K still defending from Clarky, and then in the background Jamie getting a bit restless there with a Ressi potentially. So it's all kicking off in the top 5, top 6, and Novatank is can now confirm to the left hand side. You can see confirmed up into 5th place, and Ali just about keeps ahead of Clarky there. But looks like Clarky, you know, impressed in the first round, Tom, and he's looking hungry for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, in the comments, a lot of people thought he was the driver of the day, and at the moment with the Mercedes cars, it's definitely looking like one car's working better than the other at the moment, and Novatank really switching that car on at the moment in these conditions, and Ali K up against it so far, but so far so good in terms of contact, and a few close shaves, but nothing major. And I think now Jamie, the man who put in a really impressive performance last time out in Australia, and a really impressive performance so far this weekend at Bahrain, is now going to be under pressure from the reigning world champion very soon. But he's currently actually putting a Resi and a little bit of pressure in the Red Bull there. Also had a pretty good start. And yeah, Novatank getting all out of shape through the corner there. So Novatank really trying to push hard in that Mercedes and try and make up for lost ground in qualifying there. But that's going to do his tyres absolutely no favours whatsoever as we filter through now onto the start of lap 4. A few bit of smoke, a few lockups here and there, but so far so good. And look at Clarky actually, Arif, pretty close to Ali K. Could be starting up for a move into the first corner possibly. DRS now enabled on lap 4, and let's see, there he goes. We can see in the distance Clarky's making a move. Is he going to make it stick this time? Into turn 1, side by side action, and Clarky gets that Novatank contact. They've all gone. It's all gone. Pair shape for everybody there. I think
Alex around. Yep. Alex is round.
Yep. Alex
oh god, this is very tight. There's all cars going off. It's all kicking off now. So right behind Novatank, from P5 down to P8, it's all kicking off. The racing insert, Novatank and Car 95 Jamie is under investigation for a collision there. So we'll have to see if the stewards will be giving anything to Novatank. So it looks like Novatank kind of made a bit of a kind of audacious move into turn 1. Now we can see behind we've got Nardi XT making a move down the inside of Ferrari fan, and also Alex is trying to get in the mix there, as obviously Alex was caught up in the incident with Novatank as well. And now we've got the Red Bull being a bit susceptible to Novatank there. Novatank down the inside of that will be Ressi and Clarky as well.
Incredible
somehow
stuff.
Caught up in it. Somehow caught up in it, and this is all kicking off now for P2. Novatank's up into P2. This is absolutely insane. It's 1-2 for Mercedes now out of nowhere. So at the same time Novatank made that kind of dive bomb move into turn 1, we saw Clarky somehow lose some time there, get flustered, and now he finds himself down in P4, Ressi up into P3, and it's a 1-2 for Mercedes now, and Jamie is still very much there as the only consistent, constant thing in that top 5, hanging on to the back of the Sauber now, rather than a Red Bull car, and maybe he can size him up. Clarky trying to fight back on a Ressi, obviously will be annoyed with himself going down to P4. He was looking to maybe take the lead of this Grand Prix, but that's going to be good. That's going to be interesting for later on in the race, Tom, if there is a kind of penalty to be applied to Novatank, who is still under pressure very much. And Jamie down the inside of Clarky goes for the move. Great little move. They'll go side by side. through turn 2, and he'll just about hang it round, give him the room, but he's got it. Jamie is going to have to defend, though.
Dangerous here. Jay Thorne in the Red Bull looking very dangerous around the outside of Clarky. By the look of it, at the moment, is going backwards. And look at that Jay Thorne around the outside of Jamie. Is he going to pull it off around the outside? Very tight through there. And I think, has he got the move done? It's still side by side into turn 6, I believe. Still side by side. Is he going to pull off the move? And just about Jamie holds on to P4.
No, he's
now back up the inside. Oh my god, he's back up the inside. Is he made a 6 side by side action here? Jamie still holding it beautifully. Great defensive driver in there. And the McLaren absolutely not panicking under pressure and holding the position beautifully there underneath the pressure of the Red Bull there. And great stuff there from Jamie. But look at this Nervo tank within DRS of Ali K hunting down his teammate. But personally, Aarava, I don't know about you, but at first glance, it looked like a possible penalty to Nervo tank for me. But now Loki and Clarky side by side into this left-hander. But now look at this Big C from P11 on the grid, getting himself up the grid now into P8 on these soft tyres. So harder compound on the Ferrari car. Is he going to try and go for a dive here? Yes, he does. Lock up on the right front. Very close action side by side here between the two cars. And Loki just about getting the traction. Now look at this, the Manor car of Shelley getting in on the action. And is he going to make it 3 wide down the road? Doesn't look like it. But now the Manor car of Shelley going up the inside of Loki. So
there's been contact. Shelley's round. Shelley's round. And Nervo, I think that's Ali K. Ali K in the pit. Yeah, Ali K is pit from the lead of this Grand Prix in the top right there, but the Manor car is round, and down the inside goes Jay Thorne now on the McLaren of Jamie. They go side by side yet again. These two are loving each other's company in this race. And then we've got on the top right again, the Renault is now to the pits of Alex. That will be, so obviously Alex was one of the guys who got down the auto after Nervo Tank's incident in turn 1, so a bit of an earlier pit stop there. But now finally we're going to look at a replay, and if we can calm things down, we can catch our breath, Tom, and we can have a look at what happened at the start here. But wow, right now currently so much action going on. But let's have a look. Right now, RBOS gets a good run, locks up a little bit into turn 1, and then it actually gets swamped by the Red Bull car, and Clarky right around the outside of him. So impressive there from Clarky. Then through turn 2 and towards turn 3. Oh, Jay Thorne clips him. Just looked like a bit of they're both all going for the same bit of space there on the tarmac, really. A bit of a racing incident, I think, in my opinion.
This is going to give us a good view, actually. RC Wallen, yeah, it's going to give us a great view of the incident. And we can't actually see because he actually gets punted off himself. So the Williams all in the gravel there. I think that might have been Alex, I think, Arif, the other Renault.
I think so. And that is such a shame for Wallen because he had such a great qualifying compared to where he qualified in Australia. So real big shame. You can see behind, Walsh also getting into some action. Nardi X team in the second Williams car, also getting a bit of a tangle there. So it was clean up front, but a little bit kind of argy-bargy behind them. But now we cut back to this POV of the Nardi X team making a move on Big C in the Ferrari. And Big C looks like under pressure. He made a good start up into P8, but now he's under pressure and he's actually into lead this Grand Prix. People are making the pit stops. Obviously, Tom is on the soft tyres, but Nardi X team on the super softs is continuing to go on, and so he's into the lead of this Grand Prix so far. And Big C is now defending from, I think this will be Ferrari fan in the Force India. Behind you can see the Manor car also making a move, and now coming out the pits is Nervo Tank, and here is Aarava. Obviously these two battled away for quite some time in the Australian Grand Prix, and so far it's looking like the same. And Ali K is now in effective net third position, I think you could say, behind his teammate Nervo Tank and behind Aarava. So that pit stop has not worked out, and then here is a replay.
Yeah, I think that was I'm Loki, I think, who went straight into the sideboard of Alex there. So, bit of a dangerous incident. I think Alex doing a great job to actually see that one coming, actually straight line in the corner a bit. Look at the action then, all of a sudden, almost 3 wide into turn 4. And Alex goes back up the inside of Big C, and ever so close, just keeping the car pointing in the right direction. But look at this, cars left, right, and centre here. Into turn 6, incredible stuff. And 90XT making a move, a little bit of wheel banging there, a Ferrari fan. He still goes around the outside, though, fantastic stuff there. And he actually takes the move up the inside, which we saw earlier on in the race. But great action all across the field here at Bahrain. And look at this, Wood is going to go for the move. Oh my God.
He's gone for a spin.
Oh yeah, he's gone for a spin. The gap was one of them gaps is always closing, unfortunately. You know, one of them ones where once you commit to it, if the car head's turning in on you, it's game over. But
this is going to be interesting, Tom. Let's have a look at this replay. This is
going to be the answer to that question.
Ali K lost some time, so I wonder, yes, he's going to get held up here. We've got 3 cars, and that is so unfortunate for him. The worst timing there for Ali K. He does set the fast up the Grand Prix, though, so as we're on board with Jamie, you can see Ali K moving around in the brake zone, turn 1, right up the gearbox, it looks like. That's Aarava. Yeah, that's Aarava, yeah, sorry, yeah. So Ali K is actually past there. The update, it didn't update on the left-hand side, so Ali K passed Aarava, so good move there. And so Ali K getting a move on with fast up the Grand Prix. I think actually he was maybe ahead already. So maybe that was a Resi looking at the back of Ali K. But we've got a 5-second penalty for Nervotank. So that is big. So Nervotank, he's going to be in a net lead in this Grand Prix, I think. But if he wants to win this race now and match his Season 12 result, he's going to have to find that extra 5 seconds and make that gap. That will be a post-race penalty applied that stewards will apply. So that won't be something he serves in the middle of this race. It will be something that's applied electronically afterwards. So he's going to have to find that time from somewhere, Tom. So right now he's going to be a bit, annoyed with himself potentially, but annoyed with some other drivers. We haven't fully seen a replay of his incident quite there yet.
I think he'll be loving his position, because the fact is he's got a nice bit of clean track ahead of him now, and he's exactly where he wants to be, up front in the lead of the race, in first place, or in a net first place, should I say. And he's going to have that clean track ahead of him to really pump in those lap times, just like Australia, and be as consistent as he can be. So I think the 5 seconds is pretty, personally I think it's a bit of a lenient penalty. The incident seemed a bit more severe than that, but meanwhile, bit of action here. I think it's Big C under pressure from Ferrari fan who takes the lead of the race, and maybe those soft tyres on Big C's car starting to give way out of. Obviously they were around 30% worn around a few laps ago, so obviously they must be hitting the 50s or the 60s by now. But look at this, the Williams now of I believe 90X team getting a move on here, getting past the Sauber. And also, can he try and get Alex into turn 1? It's going to be a long shot here, but I've seen it happen before, and it looks like no, he isn't. He's going to think about it twice and go for the safe option there, getting past the Sauber quite comfortably. And now resuming back to the battle up front between the two leaders here on soft tyres, I believe. Ferrari fan and BXC squabbling out for first place in this race, with also Shelley in the manner there getting very close to these guys and actually trying to get himself in on the action here. So these three could come together pretty soon in terms of an on-track battle, a 3-car tasty little battle for the lead of the race here. But obviously, compared to the net race leaders, these guys are still yet to pit. So as you can see,
yeah, it will help Shelley out massively though if Big C and Ferrari fan do get in a fight. Obviously Shelley was the one that kind of half spun almost at the very end of the lap previously, so it will help him out to get his race back on track. But yeah, these guys will go in a little bit longer, but as you mentioned, Tom, it was already about 39% I think it was on the rear tyres for Big C just a couple of laps ago. So begs the question if the rear tyres will kind of allow the front tyres to continue going on for many more laps. But he's going to close up as best he can to Ferrari fan, and I think it looks like he's going to try and size up a move, but Ferrari fan may... Oh no, there was a bit of snaking around. Potentially both of those guys thought about maybe coming to the pits for an early pit stop. But here we go with DRS in the slipstream for Big C in the Ferrari down the inside, and this should be looking like a pretty easy move. Just needs to get it correct in the brake zone into turn 1. Nice and easy into turn 2 now, but Ferrari fan will get a good run, so he may get a chance to make a pass on the right hand side here, down the inside or around the outside potential. We know in real life a lot of drivers like to make the move around here and try and go side by side and run each other wide on that area of the track, but not going to be anything so far. But we're back with our net race leader, I guess you could say, Nervotank, catching up to H Racing Green, who's been a bit quiet in this race. We haven't seen much of him yet, in contrast to the Australian Grand Prix he had. But we're going to have a look at a replay now of NardyX team and Alex here. So we saw a bit of...
full whole spin.
Yeah,
nearly a
complete spin for Nardy. So he just about caught it, but that's not what he wants. He's now got a bit of his end plate off, and he's lost a whole heap of time. So we've seen a lot more mistakes actually in this Grand Prix from drivers in general, Tom. I think you might agree. So a lot of people maybe just pushing that extra bit harder. Maybe, as I say, they're trying to prove a point. And Nervotank trying to prove a point here, getting the move done early on H Racing Green. Didn't waste any time at all. So I think a lot of drivers, as I mentioned, the very start of this race on the formation lap, that maybe they're trying to kickstart their season off here. They didn't have the best time in Australia, and so it just generally looks like the entire grid's going for even more punchier moves than they would have done in Australia. And so now we can see finally on lap 10, this will be the Ferrari of Big C comes in to the pit stop. Shelley continues on his soft tyres. Walsh on the mediums continues on, so he'll be going even much longer in this Grand Prix. And then behind them finally is Nervotank making the move on Desimpele on the Force India here. So this will be Nervotank cleanly passed with DRS. Don't think the Force India will put up too much of a fight. There's no point to it. And so Nervotank once again in some good clean air. Look at that, all that clean track. And behind you can see Ali K still under pressure from Aresi. That hasn't changed. That gap has been constant since we last saw them there. But Nervotank, he's looking very familiar in the kind of driving seat, just controlling his own race, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, this is what he's known for. He is the master of controlling the race, and you could say he's equivalent of a Sebastian Vettel in terms of AOR, especially back in his heyday with the Red Bull team. But right now. Novatank, he's got that car separation between himself and his teammate. Just getting a bit of a run through here of the grid. Big C there, and side by side between Alexukr and I believe his teammate in the other half, or the Williams of I think it might be a Williams from this distance. It's a bit hard to see this far away, but a little bit of a battle going on there with Alexukr coming out on top there, and there's beautiful little helicopter shot actually out of a nice little view of the track there, and indeed it was a Williams who Alexukr overtook there. I believe 90X team bar, that'd be my guess, or maybe his teammate, but so far things are looking pretty tasty. Desimpele actually again overtaken by Ali K in the second Mercedes there, and Desimpele fighting a losing battle on them old medium tyres, and looks like now Rezi's looking to try and get himself in on the action and try and get past these two guys as we go down onto the back straight for the final time on lap 11. And Desimpele actually getting very close to Ali K. He's going to go for a move possibly. I don't think he's going to think better of it, and I think Ferrari fans in the pit lane, the race leader in the pit lane, so we're going to have to see where he comes out of the pit lane. But Ali K, is he going to go for the pit? No, he isn't. It looks like he's going for a bit of a dummy there, maybe trying to shake off the DRS and old-fashioned Fernando Alonso move there, trying to weave left, right and centre. But here comes Desimpele actually back on these old tyres up the inside of Ali K in turn 1. Is he going to get it done on the brakes? Yes, he does, and a beautiful move there. But Ali K, I think, still on the outside, trying to force his way through. Look at that, side by side, contact. He just catches the car. Incredible stuff there, and holds on to the position. But look at this now.
Aresi now making the move for P2. This will be on the Force India down the inside. Lock up from the Force India, so he's going to go wide, and Aresi now in the driving seat on that fight against Ali K, so he'll get past down the inside there on the right-hander. Will the Force India try? It looks like even though his tyres may be worn, he's going to try. Maybe tries to pop around the outside. Brakes late. He's really giving these guys, these top guys, a bit of a fight here. And he's not kind of just pushing over as they come through. And Ali K, you can see after that half spin, caught it beautifully, but he did lose time ultimately. And so he's now going to try and fight back right up the gearbox there of that Ferrari. And behind him will also be the McLaren of Jamie, who I said was a bit of a constant there in a P5 earlier on this Grand Prix, and he's still there. And this is Ali K down the inside though. Another lock-up potentially from the Force India. Not too sure if it's the spectator cam or not. I mean, it very much could be just a lock-up there because he's going to be on very worn tyres. And then round the outside, the McLaren will try and go hustling and harrying him with Jamie. And so at the moment, Ali K passed then, and so it will be Novatank clean up in front, Aresi second place, and a net third place will be Ali K. It's not quite updated. There you go, finally updating Ali K in third place, and Jamie will probably be P4 by the time this Force India comes in. I suspect pretty soon. Not quite yet. No, not quite yet. Not quite yet. So Jamie will have to make a move. It should be a pretty easy one though with DRS. So he's going to go down the inside, the right-hand side of the circuit. Should be pretty easy. Ali K, you can see, closing his DRS into turn 1. Big C taking the fast lap of the Grand Prix. So we saw that previously in Australia, that Big C being a bit more aggressive in the second half of the race, coming back on fresher tyres. But here goes Ali K now on that place I mentioned earlier. That drivers love to try and squeeze each other side by side, going wide. So here goes Ali K down the inside. Will Aresi try this switchback? I'm not too sure. We can see him just about in the mirrors there, but no, it's no use. So Ali K up into second place and makes it a 1-2 for Mercedes once again, like it was earlier on in this Grand Prix.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to say I have just a bit of a caveat on Desimpele here, and I do wonder because there is an outside chance you can do a one-stop around here with a medium soft or a soft medium depending on what tyre you start the race on. In this case, Desimpele is starting on the medium tyre, and if you can get the medium up until about lap 15-16, you might just be able to get away with a soft tyre if you can drag it to the end and keep it within good tyre life. So I wonder if Desimpele is going to try and go for that one-stop, which is an outside option. But meanwhile, Jay Thorne getting a nice, comfortable, comprehensive move done there, getting past the Force India driver, getting himself up into P5 there. And both of the Red Bulls and the Mercedes are two teams who we sort of highlighted in the first race out of really sort of putting the hammer down and really solidifying the fact that they're a team to be a force to be reckoned with this season.
Oh
and,
no,
losing the back end, it's all gone wrong for him, and he was already down in P15, and now he's lost an end plate on the medium tyres, so the downforce is not going to be there whatsoever in the Sauber car. But resuming back to the live action now, on board with Jamie here. Beautiful little shot here. We've got some battling up ahead into turn 1 now. Ferrari found the fast lap of the race, and I believe that's Aresi attacking Ali K by the look of it, Aarava. Side by side.
They go side by side. Aresi will try and get it on the exit. There you go, and Aresi's got it just about, and Jamie's going to come in the background. Will Ali K slipstream? And look at that, Jamie's also going to try and join them in the mix. Will Jamie try down the inside? Locks up a little bit, thinks better of it. Ali K still very much there. Will they go side by side into the S section? Ali K just about, just behind Aresi. So close between these two drivers. and this is turning into a great squabble, and Jamie is probably licking his lips in the background there, trying to join in the action. But yeah, there's J Thorn also in the background, so Red Bull solidifying, trying to get both drivers. Obviously J Thorn had a bad race last time out, so both those drivers can finish in the top 5. That'll be absolutely brilliant, but we've got plenty to go. But we're coming up to about halfway through this Grand Prix, Tom. So at the moment, Novotank in first place, Aresi second, then we've got Ali K in third place with DRS wide open, and then Jamie in fourth place, J Thorn fifth. We've got Desimpele on those medium tyres in sixth place, Alex in the first, Renault in seventh place, Big C in eighth place. He's doing well and going a bit faster, but now we've got Ferrari fan maybe overtaking there up into eighth place, and then we've got Nardi X team in the lone Williams car there in 10th place, with Wallen being spun round earlier on in the Grand Prix. But getting back to this action, Tom, Ali K getting right up behind Aresi and probably going to line up a DRS pass through the final corner, nice and easy. So here we go, down the main straight.
DRS, we wait for the DRS lap to open here. I think it's going to be a losing battle for Aresi. It's a question of how late does he dare to break into the first corner here. Look at these two absolutely dicing out as hard as they physically can. Aresi is going to go and try and go back up the inside on the brakes. He's going to think about it, but Ali K just pulls it off around the outside, and he's up into second place once again in this Bahrain Grand Prix. And I do want to say, Aarava, look how many cars we've got in one shot here. And I do want to say this battling, Aarava, Novotank is loving this because he's pulling out a major gap here to the two guys who are currently battling on track right now. But as you can see, on board with Alex now, and Ferrari fan getting a move on here, actually getting past Big C last lap and now getting past Alex. So Ferrari fan in the full scene, they're putting off a pretty impressive show in this race, Aarava, and compared to Australia, really putting the hammer down, and a very impressive sixth place for him so far. And also Big C getting a move on. He's going to go for a dive up the inside of Alex here, turn 8. He just doesn't quite pull it off, and Alex in the Renault holds on to P7 for now, but a little bit back in the midfield. But like I said, Aarava, Ferrari fan really putting on a show, and now Novotank, like I said, really getting the gap out. Look at the mini-map there, Aarava.
Yeah, he's controlling it, but these drivers, my God, they have some balls this race. They're trying it left, right, and centre. But let's look at a replay now. Novotank, this was the move. Oh, my God. What a... Gee, he was very, very audacious there, Novotank. I think he maybe forgot where the brake point exactly was. Probably made the move on the car on the right, then went down the inside of Resi. There you go, from Jamie's point of view. Gets a bit of a gymkhana into turn 1. And that's the kind of instant that Novotank gets a 5-second penalty. So... a little bit of a, I would say complacent there from Novotank, a tiny bit. He went for it. I'll give him that. Props for trying to go for it, but just misjudged it on Aresi, and Aresi clearly didn't see him as he tried to turn in. And then you can see now lap 16, we're coming back. This is live action. Ali K side by side into turn 2. They go side by side through turn 3. And Aresi's got the place back up into second place. And there goes Jamie. They're going to make it 3 wide. The McLaren is still trying to get this in this. And so far, Jamie hasn't made it through. But now he can actually try and make a move. So far, he's just been sitting back and watching this fight. But now he actually got his nose up side by side with Ali K. Will he try and make a bit of a dive bomb round the outside or down the inside? Ali K goes for the dive bomb. Oh my God! What absolutely a move there!
Incredible. And Aarava, you can throw a blanket over these three. Incredible action. Jamie really putting on a performance here today, and he's actually got past the Resi himself. And Ali K with a beautiful move into turn, a little bit of wheel banging, just for extra measure, and a little pinch of salt on top of that.
I'm losing the will to live. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. This is absolutely sensational.
This is absolutely incredible. This is what you get in the top tier of racing in the AOR League on PS4 here. As you can see, incredible action with Ali K leading the way ahead of these three guys, with Novotank, his teammate, leading the front race of this race. And so far, so good. Looking like Ali K's trying to get the hammer down and trying to get a gap out to Jamie, but obviously we've got DRS coming up on the pit straight. And these three guys really putting on a clinic today, and a perfect example of what online racing is all about here today, Aarava. And this is an incredible
goes Jamie
battle. Through
the final corner here. That pop. So he's been sitting back for a few laps now, kind of just sussing out, waiting for a time. And Ali K is going to come into the pit. So Jamie's going to be denied of making that move. And Ali K probably thinking about his first pit stop and the fact he got caught up with a lot of cars. So maybe coming in for a bit of an earlier pit stop just to completely get a clean run through this pit lane. And thankfully for him, he'll be praising the Lord that no car came through down that pit lane. So 2.6, a little bit slower from Mercedes there. But, obviously didn't get held up as much as he did previously. And Jamie there holding his own. Obviously, he would have got some DRS, I think, off Ali K as he went onto the main straight. So for now, keeping hold of Aresi. And this will be a great finish if Jamie was to finish on the podium there. Obviously, we saw him and H Racing Green doing a fantastic job in the McLaren in Australia. But now it looks like H Racing Green just isn't able to match Jamie. Obviously, the GP2 champion, a little bit down on pace maybe to his teammate Jamie here. And Jamie's really showing what he's got in the tank. And Shelley now, we're on board with him in 7th place. Alex up in 6th place. Interesting for me that Alex, a little bit lacking of pace so far compared to these top guys in this race. He was the runner-up in Season 12, so I'm a little bit surprised that he's not right up there with them, but obviously he did have that half spin, maybe a little bit flustered, a little bit of end plate breakage before in that opening stint, so I don't know, maybe he'll come back into this, but at the moment he finds himself behind Big C and Ferrari fan, and now we cut back to Ali K, who's going to move on. He's ahead of J-Thorn right now, and then here is, as he mentioned before, Tom, Nervo Tank in a world of his own, and he comes in the pits now, but he's going to be loving life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, like I said right early on, just when he got the move done for first place and he was in a net first, we did say these were ideal conditions for him, and penalty or not, he loves to push, and this is exactly what he wants. But meanwhile, back to the action now, and we've got Jamie under pressure here from Aarava, and he gets the move actually done way before turn 1, so the Red Bull getting a nice comfortable move done on their medium tyres. Obviously Jamie on the softs, maybe his tyres are starting to maybe hit a bit of a second life now, and starting to fade a little bit into the tyre wear zone. But Jamie not giving up on this move just yet. Is he going to try and think about a move up the inside of turn 4? Not quite, and Aarava now I think he's going to try and state his dominance on that medium tyre. But Aarava, Ferrari fan in 3rd place, incredible performance from him, and also Big C up in 4th place as well. So a few great performances here, and also I want to say, you know, he's talking about Alex as well, but people like Clarky and RBOS really not recovering from those instances at the start of the race, and nowhere to be seen here today.
Yeah, so unlucky there. I mean, it's just so hard, especially when you're doing almost nearly a complete spin and having to face a wall and maybe put it into reverse gear. Very, very tough to come back from that. So such a shame for those guys who did so well in Australia, but you know, that's the luck of the draw. We saw previously, obviously J-Thorn got unlucky in Australia. We had, you know, people like Ali getting unlucky, and now he's got his fair share of bad luck in this race as well, to be fair to him. But now he's kind of, you know, rewarded for having such a horrid race in Australia, and he's been pulling off some amazing moves, if you remember, just a few laps ago on the Red Bull. But now we're watching back this fight once again with Jamie and Aarava, who are right now 1-2, obviously yet to make their pit stops. And all the time, this is going to be helping the guys behind them. Nervo Tank, even Ali on fresher tyres. Jamie on softs and Aarava on mediums. So it's surprising Jamie's going this long, and looks like he's going to follow. Yeah, he's going to follow the Red Bull into the pit. So both of them. Yeah, pit stop battle here between Red Bull and McLaren. So let's see who comes out on top. Theoretically, it's meant to be equal, but unfortunately with F1 2016, it's we know that's not entirely equal here. And Red Bull with a good pit stop there. What will McLaren do? They're going to strap on another set of soft tyres, and it's going to be all equal, and it's going to stay the same order there. Red Bull and McLaren. J-Thorn now we're on board, and up ahead you can see, I think that's Ali K making a move on I'm Loki there. So Ali K up into what will be the positions into turn 1, and well ahead of Aarava, and J-Thorn ahead of Jamie. So J-Thorn putting in some good lap times there on his medium tyres to stay ahead, but obviously now Jamie and Aarava both on soft tyres, and here comes Jamie already on soft tyres. Bit of lag involved there, but here goes Jamie. Will he try it around the outside? Can't quite tell now from this angle. Much better round the outside, and J-Thorn probably will have to just kind of take it, because I don't think he'll have the tyre wear and grip at this stage, as obviously Jamie's come out on complete fresh rubber, and he's made it stick. And through the S section, he's up the order, and so now he can think about going after Aarava. And you can see Desimpele there extending the track limits a little bit, maybe feeling that tyre wear already on the soft tyres lap 19. So he would have hit around lap 16, I think it was, Tom. So he's not doing his tyres much help, and as he said before, he may be trying quite a long strategy there, so that won't be helping him. And then up ahead, you can see Ali K. He's behind. This will be big timer. Yeah, big timer in the Ferrari. We haven't seen too much of him. Obviously, he was disqualified, got a penalty in qualifying, so he's quite down the order. So we haven't seen too much of this second Ferrari car. But here comes Ali getting held up, and that's going to play right in the hands of Jamie and Aarava behind him, Tom.
Yep, and well, first of all, I think it's Big C, not big time. Obviously, too much Codemasters League for you, Aarava. But as you can see, Ali K trying to put Big C under major pressure now through the final corner. And I think Big C also on worn tyres, so he's going to be feeling the pressure. And I think he's actually coming into the pit lane there. So literally on cue, as I said about tyre wear, he comes off into the pit lane. So obviously, too much tyre for him to cope with. And I'm going to guess he's going to set a soft tyres. But now, look at this. The Red Bull and also H Racing Green coming to this race a little bit now in the second McLaren, with Aarava making a nice swift move up the inside of turn 1. But I think H Racing Green trying to come back at him here. The reigning GP2 champion trying to make a bit of a tussle with Aarava, you know, a man who's in really good form in the F1 league, trying to make his name known, or make himself known, should I say, in this league. But wanted to see if these guys can filter through into a nice comfortable rhythm now to this final part of the race. And a big block up there from Big C, the race leader, I believe, and locking up the left front. And look at that, the tyre wear there, Aarava, quite severe. And I only just realised, I think it was actually Big Shot Player. That's the man that's the name I was trying to think of. The Ferrari just pitted, who I completely forgot. I was getting confused with his teammate Big C. Actually, Big Shot Player, that's the one I was looking for. So apologies there for the commentator muck up. But we both mucked each other up there. But as you can see, resuming back onto the action now, and Jamie behind his teammate H Racing Green, who's on a bit of a slow compound to Jamie, and also Jamie, like you said, Aarava, on fresh rub. And here he goes up the inside, a major dive, and I'm wondering, Aarava, maybe team orders there. Yeah,
it's got to be
team orders,
H Racing
fairly
Green.
Simple move there, and H Racing Green not making much of a defensive issue for Jamie there. Now resuming back to the battle at the front here. This time Big C under threat from Shelley on the soft tyres here, and DRS wide open. Also Shelley there, look at them tyres, left front on 61%, but here he goes, DRS wide open up the inside, and look at the straight line speed in that Manor car there, up the inside of turn 1, getting the move done for the leader race. And look at that, Nervo Tank hunting these guys down in third place. And now the action once again, these two guys, Ali K and Aresi, have been battling out the entire race and still going at it in this final stint here. And now Alex putting J-Thorn under pressure. J-Thorn trying to shake off the DRS here, but it's no use as Alex tries to go around the outside of turn 1, trying to cut him into the apex with a little bit of a pinch there into turn 1, and gets the move done beautifully. And that's absolutely textbook attacking there. And now it looks like that's
J-Thorn coming back though on the left hand side, and also we've got Ferrari fan here right behind him, so we've got a beautiful view from on board of the Force India. J-Thorn tries his best, maybe tries to switch back there, definitely try a bit of a late switchback decision from J-Thorn, tries to get enough traction but not going to work. But Ferrari fan, who impressed in that first stint, looking good right behind the Red Bull. And now we've got this great panning, a helicopter shot of the Red Bull and the Mercedes. So I believe this will be Aresi and then Ali K right behind him. As you mentioned, they've been battling all race long. These two are probably going to get sick of each other by the end of the race, but we're on lap 21 now, so it's flown by actually, Tom. We've only got 8 laps left in this Grand Prix, and so far Aresi is the one leading this battle between them. And at the moment, Nervo Tank, well, we haven't even really mentioned him in a few laps, but he's just looking so calm. We've not even seen him on the cameras as of late. He's just got, I think he's got this, surely. He's got this with 8 laps to go.
I think the words to describe him is absolutely bulletproof. I think, you know, even if you start at P9, his consistency and the fact he doesn't really majorly he doesn't crumble under pressure, with the exception of that one mistake he made. He's just so consistent, and that's really shining through. And now we've got the Red Bull of, I think that was a J-Thorn trying to throw a dummy. No, sorry, Aresi.
It's Aresi defending.
Throwing a dummy into the pit lane here, but Ali K trying to put him under pressure here. No slipstream whatsoever. Interesting tactic here, not wanting to dip into the slipstream. So maybe Ali K trying to think of a different sort of move here. But Alex,
in contrast, Alex definitely gets the slipstream down the inside of H Racing Green. And Alex, we've mentioned, was a little bit unfortunate not to have some pace earlier on this race, but now on soft tyres, getting a move on up the order past that McLaren. The McLaren may come back though, you can see up ahead, and we've got on board with J-Thorn though, trying to make the move on Ferrari fan. So Ferrari fan has overtaken J-Thorn somewhere around the lap. Remember, Ferrari fan was behind J-Thorn previously, so Ferrari fan doing well once again on this second stint here, and now he's going to get right up behind H Racing Green, who's desperately trying to hold on to the position. He's lost one position there, and so we'll try and get back to that fight, but we're going to move back to Ali K right behind Aresi once again. He will have DRS down his back straight, but I'm not too sure it's going to be enough for him. But behind him is Jamie once again, just creeping up behind these two, maybe just hoping that they go side by side for a few more corners, and then Jamie can come through, maybe try and swoop 2 positions if he can. But at the moment, these two still not giving anything up. They're kind of just pushing each other really, like Vettel and Hamilton back in the Chinese Grand Prix in real life, just kind of pushing each other for the lap times. Aresi and Ali K just pushing each other with the DRS, obviously kind of yo-yoing around. We saw that a lot in Australia as well, so I think the same is going to happen until the end of this Grand Prix, and really this won't be helping either of them on the tyre wear. And so I already mentioned this, that may play right into the hands of Jamie right at the death of this Grand Prix. But we've got Shelley in the Manor car coming to the pit, so he was going long on those soft tyres. Now he'll come onto a set of super soft, so well, we'll see what Shelley can do right at the end of this Grand Prix. He'll be way down the order, but he may be very, very quick on those super soft tyres and come back to the fights for what will be around P8, P7, P6 potentially. But as he comes out of the pits, the Ferrari, Ferrari of Big C just about around the outside. Odds on super soft. Big C's been on those tyres for a few more laps though, so Shelley will surely come back at Big C, but he just managed to do that, Ferrari driver. Really good stuff to just manage to get ahead of the Manor car there on the exit of turn 1 there, Tom.
Yeah, absolutely. For a split second, I had a flashback of the rule-off race when Sainz smacked the side of Stroll's side pod there.
Yeah.
When a big C came shooting into the frame. I thought for a second it was going to be a flashback to that incident, but I mean, look at these two, Aarav. Absolutely incredible. I'm running out of superlatives to describe these two, and they're battling this race. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible, and just so fascinating to see the pace be so close between two drivers, and the fact that DRS keeps them intertwining and keep on re-overtaking each other the entirety of a Grand Prix here. But look at this, Ferrari fan once again trying to put J Thorn under pressure, who's seemingly re-overtaking him at some point in the lap, which we might have missed. But Ferrari fan trying to re-overtake the Red Bull of J Thorn at some point here, and will he try and maybe go for a little bit of a move here? And this is a nice overtaking spot to dive up the inside late in the race. Maybe Jim Nardi, Nardi Exim will try and demonstrate for us, not quite as he's too far behind, but normally into this right hand, a nice little late lunge is quite a preferred move by some of the drivers here, but doesn't probably holding him off for the time being. And now coming back to the super soft runners of Shelly and Big C. DRS wide open now onto the start of lap 24. Shelly making a nice comfortable move with DRS assistance past
and up
Big
ahead
C.
also,
and
we've got the Ferrari fan overtaking J Thorn, so that move's been done as well. So they switch positions yet again, and Nardi X team switch positions with the other Force India of Desimbele. So we've got 3 synchronized overtakes on the same part of the circuit there. Great stuff, but this is going to actually, J Thorn and Ferrari fan battling's actually going to hold them back and actually push them towards, straight away back to these super soft runners. Exactly what I was about to allude to. You've now got Shelly and Big C on fresher, faster tyres, 2 compounds, fresher, faster tyres right up the back, and now J Thorn trying to go to the inside of Ferrari fan getting a little bit flustered there, going a little bit wide. And so these guys are going to be licking their lips on the super softs, and they get towards the end of this Grand Prix. 5 laps remaining, and look at that, nose to tail, so close, going to DRS off each other. And here goes the man, he's got a great drive. J Thorn didn't get quite the exit he was hoping for, so will he make the move? It's going to be quite tricky play. He's a bit off camber corner here on the left hand side, but he makes it stick, hits the apex, hits the curb, and he's up into P7 now, and he'll chase after Ferrari fan, and then back up ahead. I think this is Ali K still trying to pressurize Aresi, but I'm very impressed by Aresi that he's not cracked yet, and Jamie closing up on them, but these guys, nothing between them. There goes Ali K potentially, maybe has a look down the last corner, not quite there, Tom, but he may try it now. He's going to be right up here for the DRS.
Right now, I think there's 2 beautiful analogies. Right now, Jamie's like an absolute shark trying to hunt these 2 down and waiting for that moment to strike, literally like a shark. And then obviously the guys with super softs are like hyenas trying to hunt down a fresh piece of meat. But look at this now, Ali K just about getting the move done on the racing to toe on beautifully there with some DRS assistance. But Jamie,
at the same time, you've got J Thorn in the top right, making the move down the inside of Big C.
Yep.
Oh my god, they're still side by side.
Action everywhere. We can't call this action at once, but look at this incredible split cam here. And Aresi trying to re-overtake Ali K. And look at this, we've now come back to the main battle here for P2 with Jamie looking very racy towards these 2 guys. But now I don't notice Shelly on the super softs getting the move done there. Eventually, both medium tire runners. But Jamie here really looking dangerous. And I think Aarav, my money's on Jamie here. You know that. I think I'm going to go Jamie for this one. He's timing this beautifully, I think. And I think he's going to have the best tires come in the race. So
he's gonna have to suss it out for sure. But timing will be key. Timing will be key. I'm not too sure when he'll make the move. That's for him to calculate. But at the moment, these guys are just closing the gap further. I don't know how it's possible, but they're closing the gap to one another more and more each lap and getting tighter and tighter. And each time they do this, they're going to hold each other up, and then this, you never know. You may see some of the super soft runners right at the background there who are overtaking the likes of J Thorn, maybe coming through. You can see, talking about those guys, Big C on the super soft, trying to go around the outside of the medium tire run. Ferrari fan tries to defend, but he's gone off track a little bit, but he's done well to try and park the car, but Big C's not having none of it. He goes down the inside, bit of a track extension on the curb there a little bit. That should be fine, because that's tit for tat for the Ferrari fan, Force India there. And coming back to this now, we've got Aresi coming back on a charge on Ali K in the slipstream, moves to the left hand side, and where is Jamie going to be? I think he's a bit too far back, but Ali K, will he try and defend? But no, it's going to be a complete move done into turn 1, but we know how good the traction's been through turn 2, so towards now turn 4, towards that famous corner as we end sector 1. Here goes Ali K back in the slipstream of the Red Bull car, going to try it round the outside. Great panning camera here, a little bit of a lock-up from the Red Bull car, but the Red Bull will have the momentum, the racing line into the S section, and for now Aresi is the one that stays ahead. But the amount of times we've seen these guys swap positions, I've lost count, must be at least, I would say, 20 plus times they swap positions, and now Jamie really on the back of Ali K. So I'm kind of getting a little bit frustrated, really. I want Jamie to try and make that move. I'm rooting for him here to try and make that move, because he's just there in 4th, as you said, Tom, like a shark, just waiting for the move. but maybe he knows something that I don't. Maybe he's saving his tyres, not too sure. But here now, on board with the Manukar, Shelley on the super soft, makes the move round the outside on the soft tyre runner. Alex, better traction, much better traction, and he's up the order now, Tom. But getting back to this action, I'll let you take this one. Ali K right up behind Aresi once again.
Absolutely, and what more would you expect? It's been the story of the entire race, and you know, right now, I mean, we're only 2 races into the season, but this could easily be the best battle in terms of a race in the season already. And I've run out of like just words to describe how long and how many different moves these guys have done to each other, and we're only 2 races in. We've still got 3.5 more laps to go out of. Absolutely incredible stuff here, and I can't wait. I'm licking my lips for this, just like Jamie probably is in that McLaren cockpit right now. But here we go, Ali K with DRS. Aresi going very defensive this time. Ali K with the straight line speed advantage, making the move around the outside. Aresi very close, pushing him through turn 1, but Ali K getting the move done, and an absolute carbon copy of the move Aresi pulled off 1 lap ago on the Mercedes driver. And Jamie, once again, just, you know, I wonder now if he's got the pace to keep up.
I'm watching this. I'm just seeing lap after lap. We said the same thing about Jamie just being there, but he is just doing that. He's just being there. I'm starting to worry a little bit that if is he even going to try this pass at some point. Just looks like he doesn't have maybe the traction through turn 2 to get a move done in turn 3, and then down the back straight, obviously you've got Aresi and Ali K DRSing off each other and kind of using that to pull each other along, like you've seen sometimes at Monza and qualifying, just using that to get some speed there in a straight line. So I'm not too sure, but this time the gap's pretty much the same between the McLaren to the Red Bull, to the Red Bull to the Mercedes, and once again both with DRS, so equal straight line speed there. So obviously maybe running the similar sort of setups on the wings, looks like it. So yeah, Tom, I don't know, is he leaving it too late now?
Yeah, I don't know what we say, but once again, he looks really close again. So maybe it's just the way the lap is. Maybe his first section is just a bit more poor compared to these guys, because right now he's actually, I think he's closer to Aresi than what Aresi is to Ali K, and I'm not wrong when I say that. I mean, he looks very close this time around, but the DRS, the deficit in DRS, obviously, because Aresi's got DRS himself, he's not going to get past it. But I tell you what, this could be a 3-wide opportunity here into turn 1. I don't know about you, but these guys are going to get very close, and here comes Aresi on Ali K, and here comes Jamie. He's going to strike like a shark. 3-1 into turn 1. This is what we were talking about. Little bit of contact, just about keeping the front wing in one piece. And Aresi pulls off the move beautifully.
Somehow,
and that is what we were talking about. Jamie like a shark, waiting for the time to strike. And now Walsh getting a move on, getting past the Manukar for P12, sorry. And
I think Jamie's decided now. I think this lap Jamie's decided, because he's now actually, I think, in the background there. Is he past? No, he's not quite past. A bit of deceiving camera angle there, but I think Jamie has now decided this is the time to push, because that was the first time we've seen him actually try and make the move down the inside. Didn't quite work because Aresi at the same time was making the move on Ali K. But I think now he's started to, you know, this is where he's cracking the whip. He's decided, okay, now's the time to try and do this. Clark, he said the last lap of the Grand Prix. Unfortunately, we haven't seen much of him. So unfortunate. Just going back to him, mentioning him, you know, he was looking so promising. Really quite a shame there to not see him in this fight. I think he would have been right here, really, with Jamie, because he was there in the opening stint. But let's see now, through this third sector, through the swooping right-hander, Jamie a bit closer to Ali than I think Ali is to Aresi, looks like, from this camera angle. And Aresi being very aggressive, trying to break the toe and slipstream. So he's really trying to get away now. This is where he's trying to bolt and trying to secure this second place, which will be great for him, because that will also match Novotank. And oh wait, is he? Oh, he's going very aggressive. So much so that I thought he was going to make a late pit stop for some reason.
He's going to be the ultimate dive on the last lap.
That is how aggressive he's being with breaking the toe. And here goes Ali K. Late lunge. No, not quite. He thought better of it. But will Jamie now, will this open the gap for him to maybe make the traction zone through turn 2? Doesn't look like it, actually. Unfortunately for him, he's going to be in the slipstream once again. And Aresi, this is why Aresi was playing so hard to break the toe, because Ali K's really going for it. Probably up into Rich Mix at this stage. But we're on the last lap of the Grand Prix. So it's now or never for Ali K or Jamie or Aresi here. And so at the moment, it's Aresi second place, Ali K in third place, and Jamie fourth. Novotank way out in the lead. He's going to take this race win for sure, so it's going to be a brilliant win for him. But hopefully we're going to stay on board for this entire last 2 sectors, because Ali K now will have DRS. Jamie will also have DRS. Looks like Jamie may be a little bit closer to Ali K than Ali K is to Aresi. But once again, Aresi goes aggressive, left, then back to the right, while the old Fox moves like we've seen Alonso make before to break the toe through the swooping right hand on the left-hander, up the hill, through to the last sector now. This is, well, this is it for Ali K. He's got to get the slipstream, and then he's got to try some last gasp move. I'm not sure if he's going to do it. Let's see. But up ahead, here is the man with all the pace in the world. So cool, so calm. He's got a 5-second penalty, remember. It's not going to matter because Nervotank's going to come through to make it 2 out of 2 here in AOR Season 13. And through the final corner, Ali K slipstreaming Aressi, but it's not going to be it. And Aressi is going to make it a second place in a row there. And Ali K gets a good 3rd place. Good comeback for him from the Australian Grand Prix. Just couldn't do it. And Tom, what was to be of Jamie, just a bit of false hope there. Just stays put in 4th place. It's still a very decent position, don't get me wrong. And on the line, a few moves there between I'm Loki potentially being overtaken.
Oh,
and then we can see
punches. Yep, on both rears, I think, by the look of it. So, an absolutely torrid race with Desimpelli. Last time in Australia, got tangled in a couple of incidents, and once again, his race ends on a proper sour note and a real bitter pill to swallow for the Force India driver. Meanwhile, his teammate just running up the top 10, getting another point for Force India there. But look at that, I mean, he's just, at this point, you know, don't want to use profanity, but obviously not giving a single F come this point of the race, getting overtaken by Clarky there, just for misery, right out the line then. RBOS in P19, so RBOS, the man who started in 2nd place this race out of nowhere to be seen. And here he is. This is the man here. Look at this. I mean, a very disappointing one for the Renault driver. 2nd place in qualifying. He'll be very disappointed with that.
Let's remember, Renault will lead the constructors going into this round. They did really well together at Australia. So now Calamities and RBOS parks it up in a bit of a kind of almost, how do you say it, like kind of I don't even know what the word is, Tom, here. What is he doing now? I think he's given up with life there. No, he's having a bit of fun reversing across the line.
Yeah,
I think RBOS, at least he's having some fun there. I think that's really been the only fun part of his race today, Tom.
He's highlight of the race, basically, I think.
Yeah, great highlight that, to be honest. Yeah, 10 out of 10. But here we go. Replay here of Naughty X Team. Is this going to be a move on the line for Ferrari fan or Naughty X Team? Ferrari fan across the line, maybe tries it. No, this is actually on the last lap. Sorry, onto the last lap. So actually, this is great stuff. On the last lap of the Grand Prix, Jaythorn loses 2 positions. Naughty X Team with a great little move there down the inside, but then the Ferrari fan, Force India, may come back. No, Naughty X Team does make that, so that's a double overtake for the Williams car there. Great showing, but then will the Force India come back? In the mirrors, had a little bit of a look, but that's calamities for Jaythorn at the end of the race on the last lap of the Grand Prix, to lose 2 positions there, Tom.
Yep, absolutely incredible race. And, you know, we talk about Australia being a good race, but the action in this one, off the charts. Absolutely brilliant race for round 2. And this is the standard of racing you can expect in AOR F1 on the PS4 League. And hopefully you guys have absolutely loved this race, but we're now going to run you through the full race classification.
Yep, so we got Nervotank taking his 2nd win of the season, 2 out of 2 there. You can see the 5-second penalty did not even matter to him. He got it measured. It was 2.2 the gap to Aressi, so I think he measured it a little bit. He probably took it easy on those medium tyres. Aressi, though, gets another 2nd place, so the same top 2 as it was in Australia. Very surprising considering where those guys qualified. Ali K, the pole sitter, down in 3rd place, but I say down, probably a good showing for him to bounce back from Australia and trying his best to kind of back up his teammate there, but as we said, Nervotank just too much pace today and just showing the class and why he's the reigning world champion. Jamie, though, another great finish. What could have been for him, though, I feel maybe a missed out 2nd or 3rd place opportunity, but another solid race for him in 4th place. Shelley getting a great one for Manor there in 5th place. Alex, unfortunate, in 6th place for the Renault. Big C, again, doing great to get into those kind of positions where he kind of normally was in Australia there. 7th place him, he's the lead Ferrari. Naughty X Team, the lead Williams, doing great on the last lap of the Grand Prix, going on to the last lap of the Grand Prix, overtaking 2 cars there for 4 points. Walsh gets 9th place. Ferrari fan in 10th place there in the Force India. So Jaythorn going down outside the top 10. Really unfortunate for him because obviously he crashed out in Australia. And that's a real big shame for him, but that's the top 10.
Jaythorn there also, like you mentioned, P11. You know, at one time looking on for solid points, so really right at the death there, just losing a bit of pace. I wonder if that medium tyre in the last stint really sort of hurt him a bit. And also, I'm low-key, good performance for him today in the Haas there, and really get himself in the points. And at one time, really running quite nicely in the points, eventually just dropping out in P12 with his teammate getting the measure of him today. Then Big Shot Player also running quite nicely in the tail end of the points today. With Woolley, a fairly quiet race today with his teammate Shelley really putting the shine on what was a pretty good race of Manor today. With Woolley, very few highlights compared to the first race in Australia. H Racing Green also a very quiet race for himself with his teammate Jamie really putting the shine on from McLaren today and really showing what he can do in the AOR League. With RC Wallen, the man who started in P7 A very disappointing race for him today, and dropping a few places with a 3-stop strategy, so maybe a bit of contact for him, but definitely a race to forget for him once again, with Desmond Pele with that infamous double rear punch. And like I said, he did actually go for that 1-stop strategy, so it didn't really work for him, unfortunately, and the double rear punch at the end really capping off the misery for him today, with Clarkey and RBOS in 18th and 19th, the last of the classified finishers, with a very disappointing race. So those two right at the tail end really could have put on a really interesting mix there in that top 5, especially RBOS starting in 2nd place, and Clarkey at one time running in 2nd by lap 3. So those two will be really gutted with the performance here today, and Super Scrub unfortunately DNFing this race, and that is going to conclude the top 20 classified runners for the Bahrain Grand Prix, and now looking at the Drivers' World Championship.
Yep, looking at that table now, Nerva obviously with 50 points, 25 in the first 2 rounds, and the same for S13, so both those drivers getting the maximum they could get in their respective positions. Then Alex moves up into 3rd place, Ali K up into 4th, obviously getting 15 points on the board finally. RBOS drops down, obviously no points today, did get that 3rd place from last round, so he's level with Ali K, but drops to 5th, obviously with Ali getting the better position. Jamie in 6th place with 14 points, the same as Big C in 7th in the Ferrari. Shelley getting up there with that great position today with 11 points in P8. Clarkey, one of the other runners who got caught up along with RBOS, down in 9th place now. Really, really unfortunate for him. And Ace Racing Green also going down the order with 6 points. So that will be the top 10 in the Drivers' Championship for now. And then the second half, we've got Walsh in 11th place with 6 points. Nardi X team getting points on the board now, up into 4th place. Really great showing for him right at the end to get those points for Williams. Ferrari fan with the single 1 point. And then you got Wooly, J Thor, I'm Loki, we've got Wallen, Big Shot Player, Distant Player, and then I Super Scrub to round out the grid with no points there from P14 down to P20. And then for the Constructors title, well, we saw, Tom, I mentioned Renault were ahead going into this round, but now it's comfortably gone back to where we probably thought it would have been with such a strong pairing of Noah Tank and Ali K. Mercedes up there, 65 points to Red Bull Racing's 36. Renault 1 point behind, with 35 points there in 3rd place. McLaren up with 20 points in 4th place. Ferrari stay put with 5th place there, so they're looking very much right slap bang in the middle. Manor move up the order into 6th place. Sauber move down, obviously with Clarkey having that poor race, and Isu Scrub as well in 7th position with 10 points to Man's 11 points, and then Haas 6 points ahead down the order, and then Williams in with 4 points in 9th place. Force India the last of the rest with 1 point there. But Tom, definitely the top 3 as we mentioned in Australia already, Mercedes, Red Bull and Renault, but now it's very much looking like maybe Mercedes have the edge, those 2 drivers doing excellently this race, and it's more of a case of it's then Red Bull and Renault for the rest, best of the rest pretty much. Yeah, well, obviously at first we thought it was a bit closer, and I still think there could be as a team, I think there's still potential there. Obviously, Nova Tank, you know, he is bulletproof, and Ali K showed exactly what he can do today when the car is underneath him. Obviously, Rezi's the only one there who can really spell the party. Also, I think J Thorne a bit unlucky in the first 2 races, and I think he might be deserving of a higher place. Don't forget, you know, he did DNF in the first race in Australia, so he could have a few more points on the board there. But look at the difference. I mean, almost double the points already, Mercedes to Renault there. Renault were leading into this race. Absolutely incredible how that swung around already. But next time out, we'll be coming to you from the Chinese Grand Prix at Shanghai. Personally, I don't know about you, but it's my least favourite track on this calendar, and I'm curious to see how the drivers tackle this very tricky circuit, which, you know, is a real tester for the tyres, and obviously there's always a chance that rain could come into the equation here, Aarava. Yeah, for sure. It's a front limited circuit, so that's going to be a bit of a difference to Bahrain where it's more rear limited. But China, you know, on this game, on F1 2016, has been quite a cracker for offline racing at least, so I'm hoping that it'll be equally a cracker for online racing down that back straight. Plenty of chances for Ali K and Aresi to slip through each other once again all race long. So we'll see you guys then for the Chinese Grand Prix round 3, but that's been round 2, a fantastic one, and ultimately Nerva Attack makes it 2 out of 2. But we'll see you guys then. If you did enjoy this video, smash that like button, let us know what you thought of the race in the comments below. Do get subscribed to all the people involved in this video, guys. Links in the description. But we'll see you guys then for the Chinese Grand Prix. Hope you have enjoyed this one. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you guys next time.